Hello! Today I'm going to show you a very quick and easy recipe for vegetarian moussaka. So here's what you need. Tomatoes, flour, a medium onion, a couple of medium potatoes, butter, milk, eggplant, a lemon, Parmesan cheese, feta cheese, rosemary, sage, basil, oil, some nutmeg, salt and pepper, and then various cooking items. So to get started, what you do, get your pan, and you start with your eggplant. Now, I use this knife for pretty much all my cooking. Just a case of taking the top, and the bottom off. I have tried this without peeling it, but it gets a little chewy. If you cook it really long, after a day or so, it can sort of soften up a bit, but for my purposes I think it's better to peel it first. So once it's peeled, what you want to do is cut fairly thin slices. You're going to layer this on the bottom. This recipe is kind of like a Greek version of lasagna, in the sense that there's layer upon layer. Oh, almost forgot. You should put the oven on to 375. So the eggplant will condense quite a bit, so it might be a little high now, but it'll go down a little later. So what you do is you put your eggplant on the bottom, layer by layer, try to get it filling all the spaces. You may even want to stop halfway and just give a quick salt and a quick pepper. Alright, so that's done. Now what you want to choose one of your spices. Now it doesn't really matter which one, because they're all going to mingle together once it cooks. So I'm going to choose rosemary for this one. So it's just a sprinkle on the top just to get some of those flavors in there. Alright, and then a little bit more salt and pepper. Alright, and then your next layer. Now the next layer is potato. So once again, now with potatoes they take a little bit longer to cook than the eggplant, so you want to make sure that they're very thin. It helps with the cooking, and you want the whole thing to sort of cook at the same rate. Alright, so same thing again, just do another layer, trying to cover as evenly as possible. Alright, and then choose the next spice you haven't used. I'm going to go with sage this time. And that should be good. And then once again, some salt and some pepper. Now for the third layer, it's onion. Now I have found that if I just put raw onion on top, it doesn't cook as fast as everything else. So what I like to do is fry it up a little bit on the stove, just to soften it a bit, saute it I guess. So it's as easy as slicing it up, throwing it in a pan, a little bit of oil, and a few minutes. Alright. Let's see, you can actually salt this now, although we'll probably salt it once we put it on top. Alright, so there's a little bit of oil. I'll put that on the pan. So sort of medium-high heat works well. In the meantime, what you can do is chop up your tomatoes, because they're also on this layer. Now, these are a little small tomatoes, but I find that out of season, these are the only ones that really have much flavor. So I think, despite their size, they're better in potency. You can try to compensate a little bit with salt and maybe even sugar, but I find if you can get food that tastes good on its own, it's always going to work better. Alright. So they don't have to be cooked too much, just so that they're softened a bit, so that they'll cook in time with everything else. So we can also prepare the lemon juice. Cut it in half. This is a fairly small lemon, so I'll probably use both halves, but normally I just use one half. So I find on its own lemon juice is a little strong, so you want to water it down just a little bit. Alright, so that should be good. We will get the onions, and you just want to evenly distribute them. And then on top of that, you put a small layer of feta cheese for flavor. And then a layer of basil. And of course, a layer of pepper and salt. And then you take your lemon juice mixture and just apply a little bit. You don't even need to use it all. You sort of use your instincts. You just want to add a little bit of liquid for everything to gel together and a little bit of tartness to go with all the other flavors. Alright. And then I suggest covering this one because it will allow everything to sort of mingle together. You put it in for about 20 minutes or so. So while you're waiting for your bottom layer to cook, you can prepare your bechamel sauce, or bechamel. What I find works well is if you use a scale, you put your pot directly on it, and then you tare it to that weight. That way all the measurements are easy to go without pulling up measuring apparatus. So you want 50 grams of flour and 50 grams of butter. That should do it. And then you turn the whole thing on to medium heat and just melt it. So if you are careful here, you can get rid of all your lumps, which will make it easier for the sauce to be nice and smooth. So once it starts to thicken is when you want to add the Parmesan cheese. And a little bit of nutmeg. So once your bottom layer is cooked, or semi-cooked, you can pull it out. And then put the sauce on top, once again, trying to do it as evenly as possible. It will sink into the crevices and stuff, but it's still very yummy. And then you put this one in the oven, ouch! And then you put this one in the oven for about 45 minutes, then it's done. And there you go. I'll usually put broil on at the end for about 3 minutes just to get a little bit of color on top. I'll serve it with Greek salad, potatoes, rice, maybe pita bread. Lots of leftovers, very popular, and I hope you enjoy it. Thanks.